Hello, Kentucky friends. Malachi Moreno is eager to develop his skills with the help of Mark Pope. Is this the big man Pope can turn into a machine for the Cats? Let's get to the news. Coach Mark Pope, a man who has already proven his ability to innovate on the field, Moreno has everything it takes to be the difference maker the team needed to reach new heights in the college championship. With his unique ability to set up the play from the center position, the young player promises to be more than just a name on the roster. He can become a key player in a system that deeply values passing as its primary weapon. Since his high school days, Moreno has garnered attention for his game intelligence and ability to make quick and accurate reads. At Great Crossing High School, he wasn't just the tall kid who dominated rebounds or blocked shots, although those were also notable aspects of his performance. He was, above all, a passer, someone who understood the game like few others, always seeking to involve his teammates and create opportunities where others saw only chaos. This characteristic, in fact, fits perfectly with the philosophy of Mark Pope, who has a special fondness for point guards and has demonstrated this in previous seasons with players like Amari Williams and Brandon Garrison. Williams, recently drafted by the Boston Celtics, left a legacy of leadership and vision that now seems to be transferring to Moreno. Garrison, another player who thrived under Pope's guidance, is serving as a mentor to the freshman. The relationship between the two has been crucial to Moreno's adaptation to the college level. While Garrison deciphers Pope's peculiar terminology, Moreno absorbs every detail, transforming learning into opportunity. Moreno himself acknowledges that training has been more of a mental challenge than a physical one. But this doesn't seem to intimidate him. On the contrary, he appears to embrace the process with enthusiasm, knowing that each small adjustment can help him take an even greater leap in his development. And it's precisely this combination of innate talent and willingness to learn that makes Moreno so promising. During his final high school season, he racked up impressive numbers: 21.5 points, 14.9 rebounds, 3.6 blocks, and 3.5 assists per game. His impact wasn't limited to individual statistics. He was the engine that drove his team, leading them to the state championship. Now at Kentucky, he has the chance to replicate that success on a much bigger stage. Of course, there are challenges ahead. The transition to college basketball is always difficult, especially for a freshman arriving with such high expectations. But Moreno seems determined to face these obstacles head-on. He's already working on improving his physicality, which is essential to compete against stronger, more experienced players. He's also refining his three-point shot, an area that, while still developing, could become another powerful weapon in his arsenal. When asked about this, he smiles and says he's fine-tuning a few things, but that the progress is significant. Another factor that could help Moreno earn early playing time is the temporary absence of Jaden Quinans, who is still recovering from an ACL injury. With a gap in the rotation, the rookie could have an opportunity to prove himself early on in the season. And given his track record of performing under pressure, it wouldn't be surprising to see Moreno seize this opportunity masterfully. Mark Pope, for his part, seems to be getting the most out of the young center. During summer workouts, the coach has been paying special attention to Moreno's passing skills, honing them so he can further excel in the Wildcats' offense. This synergy between player and coach is one of Kentucky's greatest assets for the upcoming season. Pope isn't just shaping Moreno as a player, he's helping him grow as a leader, someone who can lead the team with ease and vision. And of course, Moreno has a style of play that values intelligence, collaboration, and creativity. In a sport that often glorifies explosive athletes and voracious scorers, Moreno is a reminder that basketball is also a game of nuance, precise passing, and calculated decisions. And with Pope by his side, he has everything it takes to be a standout. Is Kentucky still producing Division I basketball talent? Kentucky basketball, under the leadership of Coach Mark Pope, is experiencing a period of renewal and optimism, driven by a wave of homegrown talent that is transforming the Bluegrass State into a hotbed of elite players for NCAA Division I in recent years. Kentucky basketball has reaped the rewards of an exceptional generation of homegrown athletes, who are not only elevating the Wildcats' program, but also rewriting the narrative about Kentucky's ability to produce stars for college basketball and, potentially, the NBA. This rise of homegrown prospects, combined with Pope's strategic vision, is solidifying the program as an attractive destination for young players aspiring to shine on the national stage. The turning point in this new era can be attributed to Reed Sheppard, a North Laurel native, whose meteoric rise serves as an inspiration to the new generation. Sheppard, who emerged as Rookie of the Year last season with the Wildcats, was selected third overall in the 2024 NBA Draft by the Houston Rockets. His rise not only put Kentucky on the map as a producer of high-caliber talent, but also opened the door for other local players to follow suit, even without being coached by Pope. The arrival of Reese Potter, a center from Lexington Catholic, who played at Miami before joining Kentucky this offseason, reinforces this trend. Together, Sheppard and Potter symbolize the beginning of a movement that is transforming the state into an internal recruiting powerhouse. The first has already worked. Let's look at Potter now. The 2024 class provided even more evidence of this blossoming. Trent Noah and Travis Perry, both among the top 150 national prospects, began their college careers with the Wildcats, although Perry opted to transfer to Ole Miss. Now, the 2025 class promises to maintain the momentum with Jasper Johnson and Malachi Moreno, two players ranked among the top 35 in the country, set to debut as freshmen at Kentucky. Moreno, in particular, expressed pride in the impact he and his teammates are having. "I think we're producing what needs to be produced," the youngster told reporters, challenging the long-held perception that Kentucky doesn't produce elite talent. "We're starting to shake off this narrative that Kentucky doesn't produce talent. And now people are starting to see that if you're from Kentucky, as long as you want it, you can go after it." Looking ahead, the 2026 class looks even more promising. Tyron Stokes, ranked no 1 in the country, and Tay Kiney, ranked no 13, are priority targets for Mark Pope, who has demonstrated a knack for attracting elite talent to Lexington. Pope's ability to connect the program with the state's best players is a testament to his long-term vision, which combines local pride with national ambitions. Stokes and Kiney, if they confirm their commitments to the Wildcats, could further elevate their careers in Kentucky's standing. Beyond the elite level, the state has also produced an impressive number of players for mid- and high-division programs. Names like Gabe Sisk, Ballard, ETSU, Aiden Evans, Elizabethtown, Ohio, Cade Unseld, Warren Central, Western Kentucky, and E.J. Walker Lloyd Memorial, South Carolina are examples of athletes who have forged their paths from the Bluegrass State. Looking ahead, players like Armello Boone, Woodford County, Western Kentucky, Maddox Huff, Harlan County, Etsu Cole, Edelyn Mail, Western Kentucky, and Reese Davidson, North Laurel, Liberty, are poised to continue this tradition. Even younger prospects, like Jaden Johnson and Gabe Weiss, both in the class of 2026, and Griffin Starks 2027 and Josh Lindsey 2028, are already attracting attention from top programs like Ohio State, Florida State, and West Virginia. The approach combines aggressive recruitment of local talent with a modern approach to the game that values versatility, intensity, and athlete development. The arrival of players like Johnson and Moreno, coupled with the interest in Stokes and Kiney, suggests that Pope is building a roster that not only honors Kentucky basketball's tradition, but also projects the program to compete at the highest level in the NCAA. "I can't wait to see what this team will be like this year." And what are they saying about left back David Gusta from Washington State? David Gusta's arrival at Kentucky football has generated a wave of optimism amid the team's rebuild for next season. The left back, originally from Washington State, brings with him an impressive background and promises to make an immediate impact on the Wildcats' defensive line. With Mark Stoops, who has been shaping the program for years with a blend of discipline and strategy, we want to see what this year will be like. Here's what he had to say about Gusta. "You look at David Gusta, he's a guy that's 316 to 320 type guy, but man, he can move. He's a guy that this offseason did 225 bench presses 38 times. He's physically what you want," Kentucky head coach Mark Stoops told the media on Monday. "And very twitchy, very disruptive inside." Stoops also mentioned Gusta's competitive edge, a trait that translates into intensity on the field. "Always welcome in a defensive scheme that seeks to pressure opponents from the first minute." Kentucky predominantly operates with a 3-4 formation, but tactical flexibility has been a hallmark of the team in recent years. With Gusta's addition, the team now has more options to explore alternative alignments, including balanced fronts or even an occasional transition to a 4-2-3, depending on the game. This demonstrates the coaching staff's willingness to adapt their plans to maximize the available talent. Gusta, who played nose tackle during spring training, appears to be a key player in this process. His versatility allows him to play multiple roles, whether as a traditional defensive tackle or as a shade position slightly outside the opponent's offensive center. In addition to Gusta, Kentucky brought in other key players to bolster the defensive line and outside linebacker group. Among them, Mequise Humphrey Grace, a transfer from South Dakota, stands out, whose playing style suggests a natural fit for a 4-2-3 formation. However, Gusta emerges as the most notable signing this offseason, both for his individual potential and for the way he can catalyze strategic changes within the team. Veteran players like Tavian Gatson, Josiah Hayes, Colo Saunders, and Jared Smith too will continue to be cornerstones of the defense. But Gusta brings an additional dimension with his ability to create plays and pressure the offensive pocket. Detailed analysis of Gusta reveals a player who not only dominates the running game, but also poses a threat in the pass rush. Throughout his career at Washington State, he accumulated 1,256 snaps, establishing himself as one of the best defensive tackles available on the transfer market. His physical strength, combined with refined technique, allows him to effectively break double blocks and create crucial gaps for his teammates. These qualities make him a valuable complement to Josiah Hayes, creating a powerful duo at the heart of the defensive line. While there are still questions about how Gusta will handle consistent double-team blocking in the running game, His agile movement and explosiveness suggest he will be prepared to face these challenges. Furthermore, his style of play seems to fit perfectly with Stoop's defensive philosophy, which prioritizes versatility and the ability to adjust tactics during games. In a scenario where many SEC universities tried to lure Gusta to their programs, Kentucky came out on top in securing his appointment. This recruiting win reflects the program's growing reputation under Stoops, who has demonstrated an ability not only to develop talent but also to attract players ready to contribute immediately. Gusta's selection was strategic and based on clear needs, strengthening the defensive core and providing more depth at critical positions. With his strength, versatility, and competitive mindset, Gusta has everything it takes to become one of the team's standout performers this season, and if the coaching staff can integrate him properly into the system, it wouldn't be surprising to see Kentucky upsetting its rivals. That's what we want to see. Leave your comments.